What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Kap Sports. We had an extremely eventful weekend in the sports world.
Yeah, we did.
College, pros. Obviously, the big fight that happened between Paul and Tyson. Some people were let down. I personally wasn't, but my expectations were pretty low for it. So I got what I expected out of it.
I think so too, yeah.
But, the fight directly before it was phenomenal.
Don't know who those two girls were, but they beat the hell out of each other.
That was, I'm not exaggerating when I say that was one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life.
It was intense.
Yeah. So
good for Netflix, even though it crashed 5 times.
I don't know what kind of deal I got with Netflix, but I had zero issues.
Really?
Yeah. No buffering, no anything. Like it was
ours
crazy.
Kicked right when Mike Tyson was trying to come out, and about halfway through, I think.
Yeah.
It went again.
Like right when his ass came out, or what?
That was way before.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see it that part until social media afterwards. That was.
If anyone wants to get that pic of his ass blown up for Colton to like hang up for him, he's been talking about it nonstop. He said that is America's ass right there.
Why am I getting picked on tonight? This is absurd. This is a travesty.
Dude, I'm just repeating what you said verbatim.
I don't like it here anymore.
All right, everyone, let's dive in, man. Let's start off with some college football, dude. We're starting with the Tide.
Roll Tide. That's all I got to say.
Okay, well, everyone, thanks for tuning in. All right, anyways, bro. So let's talk about the Bama game.
Yeah, so I didn't know Mercer was 9-1. I didn't feel, I know that's FCS, Mercer's FCS, but I didn't feel nervous going into the game. But there was a little part of me, it's like, man, Mercer's 9-1. They might give Bama a little fight. And then it just, the tide rolled. It was good to see.
Yeah. No, they did great. Again, great performance out of,
Hard to really, the defense, I think, looked
defense yet
good.
again. Yeah, that's
to get some turnovers, to hold the team to a few points like that. It's always good to see the defense fly around like that, get some takeaways, had a return touchdown. So it was good to see. Got some bench guys, some walk-ons, get some reps later on in the game.
That was huge.
To see what the future holds for Bama.
Yeah, I love having those moments for those guys.
We got to see 3 quarterbacks this week, or 4. Really?
We got to see 4.
4. Yeah.
Yep. So we got to see a little bit of Milroe. We got Ty Simpson, who did his best Johnny Manziel impression.
He disappeared and then popped up and threw
came back out of nowhere. Magician.
Yeah.
Threw a bomb, got down to the 1 yard line.
Double coverage.
Got down to the 1 yard line and, ran in for a touchdown next
Punched it in, yeah.
Yep. And then we had
Austin Mack, who is a prototypical, defensive end, tight end build.
He might be our Cam Newton.
Cannon.
He might be our Cam Newton. He's 6'6".
Yeah. 6'6", 250.
Yeah.
He's a monster.
Freaking huge. I'm jealous of the height.
Redshirt freshman, I believe. So he redshirted in Washington last year.
Yeah. So I couldn't remember. Normally you'll differentiate if someone's a red shirt freshman versus a true freshman.
Most of the time it just says freshman.
I don't know.
On a lot of things, it just says freshman.
I don't know. See, everything I always usually look at, would acknowledge fact.
Or have RS in parentheses or something.
Exactly. And his didn't. His just said freshman.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's why it makes me think he was just a true freshman. I don't know. But yes, I know he was affiliated with Washington due to DeBoer.
He was on their roster last year at Washington.
Okay, that's what I vaguely remember that. I couldn't for sure remember.
Yeah.
Could have looked it up, but didn't.
But he stature-wise, he's a freak of nature.
So towards the end of the game, I believe our second to final drive threw one of the most beautiful passes, 39-yard touchdown bomb to the back left corner of the end zone.
The receiver had about that much room to catch that ball and come in bounds with.
Yeah.
And he nailed it. I think it was good in the NFL.
No doubt.
I think he got 2 feet. Yeah.
Made, a great one-handed catch, back corner of the end zone, put it to where only our guy could catch it. So it was a beautiful throw. It was great seeing that. The only thing for me is that I don't want him to look too good because I'm really wanting to see me some Ty Simpson next year.
I think it's Ty Simpson's next year. I think it's his job, pending if Milroe goes to the draft. He's still a junior. He has a good chance to come back next year if he wanted to.
Yes.
I mean, he's probably going to make more money his senior year at Bama than he will as a rookie in the NFL, depending on where he's drafted, obviously. But I don't think he's a high draft pick by any means.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it a couple times. I'm not certain that he's a first-round pick anymore.
No,
but he would be a steal for anybody who gets him late first round, early second.
Yeah, you think he's like a Anthony Richardson equivalent? You know,
I feel like he needs to be a Michael Penix Jr. equivalent. Like, get drafted to a team who's got a bona fide starter.
Penix was better. Penix was a better quarterback.
He threw a dot last night.
Penix is a better quarterback. So the reason why I said Anthony Richardson equivalent is because teams knew that Richardson was going to be a project. He was drafted on potential instead of what he had shown in college. Whereas Milroe has obviously shown a lot more in college than what Anthony Richardson had ever done. So he's got a lot more experience.
Anthony Richardson this time he had a way stronger arm than what Milroe's got. Like Richardson was known for a long bomber, and Milroe he's got a good arm.
I think he can throw it pretty daggum far.
There's no doubt about that.
I think he might be more accurate too.
The scrambling factor.
Yeah.
With Milroe was there too.
Yeah. He's got some serious just breakaway speed.
He's a better version of what Blake Sims was for Bama. Because Blake Sims came in as like a receiver / running back.
So yeah, came in as running back, played some defensive back, but ultimately wound up at quarterback. Still one of my all-time favorite Alabama.
What's crazy though, I think if Milroe he's a great quarterback. He's a really good quarterback. Imagine him like just straight up running back though.
He would do some damage.
I think he'd be up for Heisman as a running back.
He might. He might. I don't know. He's quarterback though, so he's still good enough. He may end up being like a Jalen Hurts. I mean, no one ever thought Jalen Hurts was that good while he was at Alabama.
I think he's got him to the playoffs every year he's been in the league.
Since becoming a starter, yeah.
I think even that first year he got him into the because who was the quarterback before?
Carson Wentz.
Yeah,
it was Carson Wentz, who did play. I believe it was later in the season that Hurts came in and started taking. It was his rookie year or was his second year that Hurts started.
But I mean, he's got him in the playoffs ever since.
Yeah,
got him to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they're good. They're a great team. Anyway, so
But going back to Todd Simpson, I do think it will be his team. And like we said, Austin Mack still being young, like it's Todd Simpson's year next year.
Yeah.
It's his team.
Did you know we've lost 4 recruits in the last 5 days?
Just flips?
Yeah, like decommitting. They haven't necessarily – I believe one is committed to another school. Caleb Cunningham to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've lost a couple others, dude. They're all 4 stars. Like none of them have been 5 stars.
Has it been like written commits or is it all verbal still?
They were all like hard verbal commits, yeah.
It don't mean nothing until February.
Yeah.
Or January, whenever National Signing Day is. I think it's early February. But
yeah, I mean, there's an early signing period in December.
It's almost like recruiting,
like
it matters. Like out of high school, it matters. But man, the way teams are now, like it's all about who you can get from the portal.
The portal, yeah. It's good.
Because like, you can still get I almost called them rookies. You can still get your high school recruits, bring them in, groom them up. Like Ryan Williams is a generational talent as far as like coming in, making an immediate impact as a true freshman, 17 years old still, by the way. Had a couple touchdowns this past weekend. Good to see. But it's all about who you can get from the portal, who can come in, that leadership factor, somebody that's been in college football for a couple of years. Depending on where they come from, you still got your talent from, like, did they play a lot from the team they came from?
Right.
Or were they just riding the bench, didn't see a start in the future, transfer? And it's the wild, wild west, college football.
Yep. But yeah, so we got Oklahoma this upcoming weekend, who's having a down year.
It's a night game. I didn't realize. I looked at that early. It's a 6:30 game on ABC.
Yeah, I'm surprised. They'll probably be flexed out to an earlier game.
Do they flex college games?
Yes.
They do?
Yes.
It's such a late game.
Yeah. I mean, we've had quite a few games at that time.
No, we have, but they've been I mean, the Georgia game was late, LSU game was late, Tennessee game was late.
Exactly.
But they were like primetime game, like Oklahoma. Like,
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Which makes a good point for you.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying
it
I wouldn't be surprised to be flexed to a 2:30 game or so. Because
at least it's on ABC.
Yeah, I was gonna say now that
Peacock.
Now that's ABC, like instead of CBS, like we've been in all the years past, they have that.
Time drop for the Iron Bowl, 2:30 kickoff, which is prime time.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
typical.
Has there ever
Iron
been a
Bowl
time when it wasn't at 2:30?
I think if they're both like high ranked, big factor game,
I can't remember ever a game.
Is it always 2:30?
I'm almost 100% certain.
That's fine.
I can't remember a time when it's started late, like a 6:30 or 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe 2014
Okay, Peyton.
at home, mate, but that's been a while.
Okay, thanks.
We got a
Our
thesaurus of
fact
sport,
checker in the back.
Our moderator
off the top
of
of
knowledge.
the
Yeah,
dome.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. By the way, I don't think you introduced him.
I didn't.
We
He
got
needs
Peyton.
no introduction.
We're
My little brother, Peyton.
yeah, running the show by himself in the back tonight. We
Yeah.
appreciate your work, Peyton.
Yes, sir. No
Yep.
problem. Chime in when you want.
Yes, sir. All right. So Bama, they handled business. Huge game this week. I think we came out of this weekend with no injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody got hurt. Nobody got carted off. Huge.
Just
Got our
feelings were
starters.
hurt.
Hey?
Just feelings were hurt.
Well,
Mercer's.
yeah, that's fine. They can go handle business in the FCS.
Yeah.
So another game, a couple other games. Let's start with you want to go by time frame or just how I got it on here? Let's say
Let's just go
we got a
with-
couple of top teams that struggle with their opponents this weekend.
Struggle wins.
Yeah, struggle. Weird. Shout out, Funny Man. There's another shout out for you. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Oregon only wins by 3 to Wisconsin, which would have made Bama fans a whole lot happier since we dog walked Wisconsin earlier in the year. And
Yeah, man, that would have been. I mean, any loss for a team currently ranked ahead of Bama is a win.
Yeah.
That would have. Just the chaos that would have ensued, even if it wouldn't have like directly benefited Bama, just the chaos that would have ensued
Yeah.
following that with the current losses that have already occurred in the season as well as this weekend.
yeah.
I would have loved to have seen how
Oh, we're up.
the football world, and especially the committee, would have responded.
Anytime there's an upset that doesn't involve Bama is huge for us.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like with how everyone's been like talking about the playoffs and everything like that, and you know how they've been laying it out and the order and yada yada. Like, I would have loved to have seen like where they would have dropped Oregon to if they had lost to an unranked.
Team. Yeah. Honestly, they would have stayed right there. They may not have been as a 1 seed, but they would have stayed in the top 4 just because you can't move Ohio State ahead of Oregon just because they beat Ohio State head to head. Which we'll find out more tomorrow night on the playoff if what happens. Because, okay, we'll go right into that topic. BYU upset by Kansas. This isn't basketball. We're talking about football.
Give them some credit, man.
Kansas?
Yeah.
They were a 4-win team before last night. Or Saturday night.
Well, now they're a 5-win team.
They are. Good for them. But yeah, BYU upset. So they were previously at the number 3 overall seed.
6th ranked, right?
Ranked 6th.
Which,
Going,
all of that is even more confusing.
yeah, you can't have the AP rank and the college football rank side by side. But yeah, so last week's standings, they were ranked 6th with the 3rd overall seed in the playoff. Does BYU fall? They're not going to fall out of the playoff, I don't think. But
The AP had them dropping all the way down. What did I tell you, to 14, 15?
I think so.
Yeah, like that blows my mind.
which is still ahead of Colorado, but do they move Colorado into that 3 seed? Or do they keep – because Miami, they were at the 4 seed. They lost to Georgia Tech and stayed at the 4 seed. So did BYU stay at the 3 seed?
I mean, based on the way they've been doing it, then yeah. Like, I mean –
They don't move at all.
Yeah.
So the
that's
top 4 stays the same.
based on the way that they have handled previous losses under the same circumstances,
Yeah.
then yeah.
I think so too. Yeah, so the top 4 stays the exact same, and you're going to have, I think, a major shakeup between, what do you got, 5 through 12.
Yeah, so who
Some
else?
of the teams are probably going to stay on there, so we still
So
got,
Tennessee's out. for sure.
Yeah, we still got last week's college football bracket up, so we're just obviously we don't know.
Spitballing.
Yeah, we're shooting at the hip right here. So Tennessee probably falls out of the 12-team bracket. Bama probably moves up. Ole Miss probably moves up a little bit. Boise probably stays the same. So yeah, there's going to be a little shakeup. I think Colorado may sneak in now that Tennessee's getting bounced out.
Yeah, Colorado deserves to be top 12.
I think so too.
Yeah.
They've had some impressive wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
So according to NCAA.com, they still have Tennessee inside the top 12 as their prediction. Actually,
how many losses do they have?
9,
Two.
they still have them ahead of Alabama.
2.
So they got 2 losses.
Yep. Georgia this past weekend, and then who was their first loss to? Was it Ole Miss, Kentucky, someone? I forgot.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
When Nico ran out of bounds to
Yeah. That's right.
run the clock out.
Yep.
That's a terrible loss for them.
Arkansas is not a bad team. They have a winning record.
But still, compared to others' teams' losses, like
we can't say anything. We've lost the bandy.
That's true.
I thought we're seeing historical parity this year with college football. I've seen some people make references to 2007. I mean, obviously, I was too young. I don't remember it too well. But supposedly that was a crazy year that I've seen people mention as
2007
being like super.
Oh, that would have been the year that the Gators went.
I said that was way before the playoffs.
Or maybe that would have been but but still though you don't remember how much people used to complain about the daggone BCS.
I did when Bama started taking over.
Maybe that was or was 07 the year with LSU. I know 03. I know 03 obviously, but I think
we were wee lads at that time anyway. I mean, we were
15.
14, 15, I know. We've slept a lot. We've drank a lot. We've had a few hits to the noggin since then.
My God, that's for sure.
I mean, I can't remember who Tennessee played, who their first loss was. So that's just this season.
We're like that dude from the Adam Sandler movie.
10 Second Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah. 51st Dates?
Yeah.
51st
Dates.
I feel like 10 Second Tom
a
lot.
I'm Tom.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, the bracket and the AP poll came out, yesterday. They still have God, my phone's right there. Ole Miss is behind Georgia, I think still. After beating I think in the 4-team stretch, I think it's Bama, Georgia, Ole Miss, Tennessee. As far as like the 4-team, I think it's 7, 8, 9, 10. Bama, Georgia, Ole Miss, and Tennessee. Correct. Okay. Sweet. See? 10 Second Tom coming through, baby.
It only took you 30 minutes.
Well, we won't talk about that. I'm still getting bullied on this. Not gonna
Hey, we got to make it interesting somehow. Well, I mean, you can dish it right back. Yeah, okay, so you're right. So that's blows my mind for this most recent AP top 25. How did they have Georgia still ahead of Ole Miss? See, that's the thing. It's like, okay, sometimes they reward a team. Okay, so we got multiple really good teams in SEC, right?
Yeah.
So
very, very strong conference this year.
So Ole Miss beat Georgia, but Georgia's ranked ahead of them.
Yep. But Tennessee beat Bama, and Bama's ranked ahead of them.
And Bama beat Georgia. We're ranked ahead of them.
Well, yeah.
I feel like it's...
So the only team that got screwed was Ole Miss.
Just imagine if there was just an SEC playoff. The controversy that stands within that conference.
Yeah. You think they need to bring back divisions?
It's certainly looking like it.
I don't know. I kind of like it. Anybody can make it.
Taking the best 2 teams out of the conference is certainly fair. Like, just out of the 16 teams.
I like it.
I mean, we're going to beat up on each other.
Yeah.
But as of today, Georgia has the most in-conference wins. Now, they still got to play Georgia Tech, and I forgot who else they play one more team in the conference, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
But Bama still got Oklahoma, Auburn. Ole Miss still got to play a couple teams in conference. Texas has to play A&M, so they're both one-loss teams still in the conference. So one of them's going to fall.
I'm going to be a huge Texas A&M fan.
Tennessee, they got UTEP this weekend, and then Vandy the
when
last
Texas
weekend.
A&M and Texas play, we're going to be huge A&M fans, right?
I don't know. Who do we cheer for?
Does Texas only have one loss? I mean, Texas A&M? Excuse me.
They've only got one loss in conference.
Oh.
And that was to...
Yeah, because they've lost to Notre Dame to start the year.
Correct. But they lost a conference game.
Yeah.
And what's crazy about...
Peyton, you got to be on top of this stuff.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Who was it? Ole Miss. One of their conference losses was to Kentucky. And Kentucky's a 4-5 team right now.
Yeah, a good 4-5 team. I'm just kidding.
If that's such a thing. So it's almost like 3 of the top 6 conference SEC teams, they've got bad losses. So Bama's bad loss was Vandy. Ole Miss's bad loss was Kentucky. Georgia lost to Bama and
Tennessee.
No, they beat Tennessee.
I mean, crap. Sorry.
So
yeah.
A&M lost to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like week 1.
Right. And then who was their SEC loss is what we're trying to do.
Are you on ESPN?
I'm just on Google
Oh,
browser.
mercy.
South Carolina.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, yeah. Who's a very fun team. We've been saying it all season. Like South Carolina, it stinks that they've gotten really good for Bama, but it stinks that they took half the season to really start.
I don't know.
They're winning these games. All their games, I feel like have been really close this year.
They have every single one of them.
Almost possession games.
They could have beat LSU at the beginning of the year. I mean, they've been within
every single game.
They did beat LSU.
Yeah, they beat LSU. Who was it? They had a close game. They've had multiple close
But they
games.
got dog walked against Kentucky.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think every other game has been right there, one possession game. And they had to beat Missouri like that. We thought Missouri, because I texted you as soon as Missouri scored, there was like a minute and a half left in the game.
You're like,
I was like, holy Missouri.
Missouri.
And then 30 seconds later, I'm like, holy South Carolina.
Yeah. No, that was just insane freaking game. I get what you're saying, though. At the games that they were losing at the beginning of the year by those, one-score possessions, they've finally figured it out and, can now become the team.
I think AP poll, they had them ranked top, I want to say they were 16th in the AP rankings.
I was thinking 17th.
Yeah.
Something like that.
15.
Oh, look at that. Cracked the top 15.
Look at us.
Hold on now. That could make things interesting. South Carolina's a really good team.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good bubble teams.
Bubble.
You want to hear them right quick?
They should make a bubble bracket.
Yeah, whip them out.
So we have SMU, according to AP.
Yep.
That's what I'm using. SMU at 9-1, BYU at 14, Texas A&M 15, Colorado 16, Clemson 17, Army 18, South Carolina 19, Tulane 20. And out of all those teams, only one team has more than 2 losses, and it's South Carolina with 3.
Yeah.
And they're really good 3-loss
Really, really good. I'm tired of even acknowledging AP poll. Let's just do
it stinks that it comes out because you got 2 days to talk about the AP poll before the college football, and that's the only one that matters right now.
That's the one that
so
matters.
it's like the AP poll comes out just to piss everybody off before the college football playoff can come in and piss everybody off.
Don't neither one of them make sense. And I'm not doing a 30-minute segment on this again.
No, we don't need to. Because Friday we'll react to what comes out on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And we'll do some projections on if the playoffs were to start this weekend. We'll have a little fun and do a little projection to see who we can get to win it all. Little Kap Sports predictor.
There we go.
I like it. Why not? Something else to do.
Well, shake your head like a magic 8-ball. See what you can spit out.
I mean, a lot of good things up in this head. Let me tell you that right now. So yeah, Georgia beats Tennessee, which that game, for Bama, we needed that to happen. 31-17 on that one. We talk about the South Carolina Missouri game. So LSU Florida. Big controversial game. Not as far as in the game.
Yeah.
The game Florida looked amazing that game.
For one, they didn't have your boy Brucey, who you've been talking about nonstop.
No, Willie Beeman came back.
Yeah, Willie Beeman
DJ
came back
Lagway
and did his thing.
Yeah, he did.
So it makes you really just wonder why he hadn't been the dude all year. Like, wow, there was ever even a battle.
So him and the starter at the beginning of the year, there was kind of a QB battle.
Yeah.
The starter would come in and struggle. Lagway would come in. He's a true freshman. Like, he was thrown in the fire right off the rip.
Yeah.
Because I want to say he played in the Texas A&M game, and A&M just beat the brakes off of him.
Yeah, I think that was really late in the game.
And that's when they really started saying that Billy Napier's job was at stake because it's like you're getting worked these first couple of weeks. Like, you're not proving anything. You've been there for a couple of years now. You're not doing anything. Huge win at home against LSU, who's another team that's like, is Brian Kelly on the hot seat going forward? Because this is his third year now.
Yeah, it's his third year. I definitely think so.
I think it's got to be.
Yeah, I mean, LSU, while they have extremely high expectations, I don't think they're probably quite on the level of like Alabama, Georgia, your Ohio States and stuff like that. Like, I feel like they're a little bit more.
Because he had a target coming into his back.
Day one.
Like, on his back coming into LSU, because Notre Dame, being at Notre Dame, like, you had all these expectations every single year, all these hopes of getting in the playoffs every single year. And if you got in, you're getting walked all over, or you're that bubble team who loses like one of the last couple games of the season,
and then
miss out of the playoffs, and then you end up with a good record, but it's like going, talk about, James Franklin at Penn State. You've had a pretty good record while you're there, but you can't get one game done.
I don't feel like those teams like that, and like you're referencing Notre Dame, I'm even including LSU in this, Penn State.
Yeah.
It's like they have aspirations of winning the national championship, right?
Yeah.
But they aren't held to and don't hold themselves to that standard where it is like almost mandatory year after year or once every 5 years.
Notre Dame needs to be put in a conference so they can be humbled every single year.
That is a fact.
They need to be thrown in the Big Ten.
But I'm just saying, like, I don't think LSU, like, I do think Brian Kelly is probably, privately on the hot seat. Definitely publicly, at least per fans.
Yeah.
I think he'd probably will have one more year.
Because you get embarrassed by Alabama last weekend at home. You get embarrassed at home against a really good Alabama team, but then double down on it.
Makes our win look bad. I mean, that doesn't hold as much as importance, I should say.
No, it don't. And Florida comes in, which Florida's defense has been, they've come alive the past few weeks. Granted, they got beat very bad by Texas last weekend. But Florida looked really good. Like, momentum-wise, like, going for the rest of the season, like, that's good. It's good for Billy Napier, too, because, like I said, his seat was getting a little warm halfway through the season. Then right before the Texas game, they announced he's here to stay, get destroyed by Texas. And then Florida
just should never got rid of Muschamp or McElwain, yeah.
How many weeks do you think this win bought Billy Napier?
I mean, at least got him another season.
Yeah. They
extended him before the Texas game.
Before the Texas game, they'd already said, we're going to give him another year.
Yeah.
Then went on to get pummeled by Texas, and they still stood by it, and then pulled off the win this past weekend.
Curious what the buyout looks like on that.
Oh, man. To be a college coach these days.
Be fired, man.
Yeah.
Jimbo Fisher's just sitting back watching all this chaos, and he's sitting on $80 million.
Where's our pride gone? We all just want to be a fired college football coach.
Do good enough to get that massive contract, and then you can do whatever you want to do.
That's exactly what I aspire to be.
A college football coach, just to get fired?
A former college football coach with a huge contract.
Yeah, he's sitting pretty. So is Orgeron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, what door do you want me to walk out of?
He's probably a legend there in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, honestly, they should never got rid of him. Like, I don't think they should ever.
He was the epitome of LSU.
Yeah, he had the voice. He was about the culture.
Oh yeah,
he's like the Cajun Donald Trump.
Yeah,
loved by everybody, hated by most. Yeah, he was the guy from Waterboy.
Yeah, home where you make it.
Home where you make it.
I see Homo's naked.
Yeah. So tomorrow night should be interesting as far as the bracket goes. What we saw last week, what we talked about last week is going to be completely dumped on its head. tomorrow night, and it's going to be a whole other controversial topic.
Yeah. For me, it's just like when it comes down to this daggum committee and this decision making, it's like, okay, you had Miami lose to Georgia Tech, and they
stayed.
They don't really fall off, but and their wins, like their schedule and their wins, are not more.
Well, SMU is undefeated in the conference.
So Miami's wins in their schedule is not any more impressive, really, than BYU's, right?
Nope. Not.
So with BYU losing this week, though, like how are they going to more or less, respond to that loss? And
well, as we were talking about, before the show, it's like, do they just throw a wrench in everything and put Colorado in it? I'm sorry, were you done with your point? All right, cool. My point. So, does the committee throw Colorado?
Yeah, so we got.
Do they throw Colorado into that 3 spot and just kick BYU to like a 6 or 7 seed? Just throw a wrench in everything. Just throw Colorado in at the 3 seed, predicting they're going to be the Big 12 champion.
Here's what I think: there are 12 spots for the playoffs. Let's just put all 12 SEC teams in and be done with it.
I think there's 12 SEC.
Probably yield some good results for viewership.
Yeah, it'd be records.
Unfortunately, college football is still a business, so we may see a profit play on who gets in. Boise State may fall out, even though they're worthy.
I touched on that a few weeks ago, that it all comes down to like viewership and money. That was
last week. It was last episode.
Last week, 2 weeks ago. We've been talking about this for 7 weeks.
It's inception at this point.
So a lot of it is definitely down to viewership and like where the money's gonna be made.
Yep. So Friday we will dive hard into the newest bracket, and then obviously sneak peek in a couple of the huge games that's going on this weekend.
Do you think it's even beneficial to even have the polls out at this point?
No, they should just They should just go off the AP poll until the last week of the season, and then have the one and only final end all be all bracket.
I'll do you one better. How about no rankings until week 9? It's just in question. Where are you ranked?
Well, you made a good point on this last week too, talking about preseason rankings have so much more weight on teams because, like you said, you could be a top 5, even top 10 team, have 1 loss, maybe 2, and still be in conversation. Depending on when you lose and what team you lose to, you can still be in that conversation in the end of the year. Where if you start at 15 through 20. Have 1 loss, you're booted. You're bouncing.
Yeah.
So, preseason rankings are way overrated, way overhyped, and they hold entirely too much weight for teams.
Another trend that seems to stay true so far is that record is a better indicator of who makes the playoff for these committee members than strength of schedule.
We'll find out here in the next few weeks, especially that last one. Like that last football ranking is going to be the most controversial thing that goes on because, like you said, are they going to go off of strictly your record, or are they going to go off eye test? Are they going to go off strength of schedule? Are they going to go off of your opponent's strength of schedule?
I don't know what they go off of. Honestly, I think that this committee process needs to be audited. It needs to be live streamed, or it needs
held
to be
accountable on the spot.
Yeah, right. And it needs to be their decision making and the processes and the steps they go through for choosing who's who and at what spot needs to be broadcast live, and that's something that needs to be made public.
Because I want to say we talked about, and I've seen other people talk about Texas' schedule. So Texas, on paper, their schedule hasn't looked that bad or it hasn't looked that good, but when they played, the teams that they beat were ranked higher than where they are now. So they played, I think at the time they played a 15th ranked Oklahoma team.
Yep.
Walked all over them.
Who doesn't even have a winning record
Played
anymore.
a number 9 Missouri team at the time, beat them. And I want to say another team.
That goes back to what we were just saying a moment ago, though. The reason why those teams were ranked so high is due to their preseason rank. So it's like they weren't even deserving of that ranking because what is Missouri 500 now?
So when it's all said and done at the end of the year, when they go through these last couple teams, who's deserving of what seeding in the playoff? Does Texas get mentioned as, obviously if they're the SEC champion? Yes, they'll get a top 4 seed. But if somebody else was to beat them out in the SEC championship, where do they end up? Do they base it off of how they've looked against teams, or do they base it off of record or their strength of schedule?
I mean, they'll be top 12 still, no matter what. Texas will.
Will they, though?
Yes, for sure.
I mean, we'll see. I think you're right, just because. But I do think so because of the eye test.
Yeah.
They've looked good.
And like we were just talking about a moment
But have
ago,
they looked good against bad teams?
Of course, yes. That's right. They don't have the luxury of beating Alabama this year.
I mean, they had a chance to end all that controversy by beating Georgia at home, and they did not.
Didn't. Yep.
They looked very bad.
They did. So, again, I don't know. We'll just
here's what it is.
What's so funny to me is that this 12
Friday Night Lights.
This 12-team playoff was supposed to fix some of these issues, and not only has it not fixed it, it's actually somehow made it worse.
I love it.
We've added 1,000 extra layers of complications.
Giving
to
us
this.
something to talk about for 40
Good
minutes.
chaos.
Yeah.
It is.
Unnecessary chaos. It's like, how do so many other sports have it figured out, and then college football is just struggling?
There's more passion in college football. Yeah. Around here, anyway. Because if you're a fan around a major team, a major league team in this area, and it's not baseball season, you're in a bad spot.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the only thing we live for.
Bingo. And that's going to be a transition right into the NFL. We're going to talk quickly about the Titans. For one, they still stink.
Yep.
Two,
That's enough.
they looked a lot better yesterday, but they had a million penalties.
Yeah. All
The
from
right tackle,
garbage. Let's go ahead and address that. Prince, yeah. See ya. He had, I know, 3 penalties for certain, and either 1 or 2 of them resulted in touchdowns being brought back. So
what's wild though, so one of that deep touchdown to Calvin Ridley got called for, what was it? An illegal formation where he wasn't a couple of inches further up, that penalty, timeout.
You're right.
I'm finishing this topic. You should not have a touchdown. This goes for any team. I'm not being biased towards Tennessee, whatever. A illegal formation where the offensive tackle is not a couple inches further up on the line should not bring back a touchdown, because that had no difference in the play whatsoever.
Yeah, because he was beat by more than a couple inches.
I'm going to fight him. I feel like that was a shot. It was a shot.
Did you?
No, it wasn't.
Did you get picked on at work or something? What's up with you, man?
No, I get picked on all the time.
Did you find out you're having another kid? Like,
Nope. No, I did not. Because show canceled right there. But no, an illegal formation of an offensive tackle who was barely off the line of scrimmage should not take away a touchdown.
Well, it did.
It did. It will every time, too.
And guess what? He got called for that same penalty 3 times.
He did. Like, figure it out. And whoever the slot guy is, like, talk to the dummy. Like, hey, scoot up.
To me, why don't the ref say, like, hey, bro?
Like, if the receivers can point at the referee on the line saying, am I good? Like, they'll point down or they'll point back. Can the offensive tackle do the same thing?
Yeah, no, clearly not.
You might as well going forward just to make sure.
If he sees the field going forward,
Didn't that happen a couple years ago with Terry McLaurin?
Yeah.
He looked over to the ref saying, am I good?
I don't know if it was him, but
as soon as the ball was snapped, they threw the flag.
Yeah.
I want to say it was McLaurin.
Yeah. It was a receiver. I don't remember. It may have very well been.
I think it was.
I can't remember, but yeah.
But the point I was making to you, Colton, was when you were talking about him being called in the backfield by more than a few inches, what I was saying is he didn't beat that defensive back by more than a couple inches. So I was adding to your point.
Oh, he needed that couple extra inches.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair. We all need a couple
It
extra.
had no difference on the outcome. Well, it did, but it shouldn't have.
Yeah, it would have been such a close game if, not for him. So you ready to talk real NFL football now?
Nope, not yet. Okay. Nick Westbrook-Akine needs to be signed to a lifetime contract with the Tennessee Titans.
Dude.
Mr. Reliable. He did drop one ball I was kind of upset about, and I almost texted you. I was waiting on a text from you. I know you were working, but I was waiting on a text from you because he did drop a ball. It wasn't the best throw, but Nick Westbrook-Akine should have caught it.
Yeah.
But He caught a 98-yard touchdown, so that was fine.
Yeah, that's all due to the GOAT, Will Levis.
GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
Like a sheep.
The meme VP, GOAT.
He will win MVP of memes this year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he had a garbage pick at the end of the end of the game.
Yeah.
He almost went through that game flawless.
Yeah.
He threw for over 200 yards though.
Woo.
His completion percentage wasn't terrible.
No, it looked, yeah. I mean, he was just trying to make something happen for no good reason. Not that
And the
last play.
defense, like, get off the field on third downs. Like, we're 10 games into the season. Like, you're just doing the bonehead stuff. Like, the illegal grab, the illegal touching, the unnecessary contact on third downs. Like, at least do it on first or second down. If you're going to do it.
Just don't do it.
Or just don't.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah.
But why are you playing? It's third and 8.
Do you know who wouldn't have let that
done.
happen is
I'm
Mike
not done.
Grable.
I'm not
We're
done.
not doing this
I'm not
tonight.
done. It sounds like we are. It's third and 8. Why are you playing press coverage? And you get 5 yards to make contact. You know where you're at on the field. After 5 yards, let the guy go.
Yeah.
Because that last major penalty where the Titans were still in it, that last major penalty was a third and 8, and he was holding after 6 yards. It ended up being an incompletion or a sack, I want to say. But it ended in a sack. But it didn't matter because Buddy was holding him. And then he holds him for 6 yards and lets him go. It was on Justin Jefferson. If you're going to do all that work, make it count.
So, for those of you who didn't know, the Titans played the Vikings, who looked great.
They lost.
The Vikings looked great. That's what I said.
The Titans lost, though.
Yeah. So the Vikings looked great. Sam Darnold, had a big resurgence game against the Titans.
Can't even call it a resurgence against the terrible Titans.
So, if your team needs, who's quarterback, you know what? The Giants need to play the Titans because
the Titans would lose.
Daniel Jones.
Malik Neighbors would have 800 receptions.
Daniel Jones would probably get another contract extension, even though he's not up for one. Like, that's who the Titans are for teams.
If Carson Beck and Daniel Jones had a baby, it would be Will Levis.
Yeah, we talked about that. One's the ceiling. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Carson Beck definitely did his best Daniel Jones impression.
He tried.
He finally looks good. Ish.
Yeah, good for him.
Finally didn't have a game with 3 interceptions.
No. Well, or one at all, I don't think.
Yeah.
He had a clean game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Titans are trash. So we'll transition over to a team who
Lurs.
Boswell,
yeah.
6 for 6 field goals.
Dude, put the team on his back. Honestly, the team looked great. Credit to the Ravens defense. Man, we forced a couple turnovers, or we forced a turnover. Whenever Baltimore had the ball inside, about their own 10 or 15, couldn't get a touchdown.
We knew going in that was going to be
It's gonna be a tight game.
very
You're gonna find out. Like I told you the other week,
a real boxing match, other than what we saw Friday night.
Yeah, I told you the other day. This is what we're gonna. This would be the game we find out who the Steelers are, and I feel like we did. Even though we didn't score touchdowns, we still did really well offensively. Defensively, looked fantastic.
You gave your kicker a chance. I mean,
whatever wins the game.
Kickers, man.
Whatever wins the game, and I'm here for it because I know the offense is going to do well. Like that's just one game.
Yeah, and seeing what they could do against the Ravens, being one of the top teams in the AFC, I'm sure it was good to see.
Yep,
This is probably what the steel curtain used to look like back in the 70s.
It's stout, yeah.
it is.
Keeping that team to what they did was
Yeah, we even got to see Justin Fields from him. He came in for a key down for us towards in the game.
I didn't watch any of that game.
That'd be a cool formation that I thought of yesterday. Having pistol formation in the Pittsburgh offense, Russell at quarterback and Justin Fields behind him as a running back. And then you can have them you can do an option with them and then have Justin Fields throw it downfield. Or
if nothing's there, just take off with it.
Yeah, you can do anything with two really good, very similar quarterbacks.
Sure could.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's just so refreshing to know that if one goes down, we've got the other still.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both really good.
Mm-hmm.
Much better than your meme BP.
Yep.
At least this year.
I don't know. If we see him on another organization, he goes off, we'll know.
Oh, that will be a tell sign of what's going on in Nashville.
Right.
100%.
It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah,
he's the franchise guy, though.
Yeah, I think I saw that he's going to get. They're going to. They're giving him the rest of this year to figure out where they're at with him, and that's really going to determine.
They're 2-9.
Yeah, they're not basing it on wins and losses. They're basing it on his development and his progress. And I mean, we just said he looked better this past game, right?
Yeah. The defense let him down. The right tackle let him down.
Do you think special teams look better?
I don't think they're.
Do special teams look better?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have a long return. I mean, they didn't put the defense in terrible situations. The defense would just do that to themselves.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, so the Steelers got the win. That was huge. That was our first divisional game.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I was seeing the standings, yesterday after they were posting all the standings for all the teams. The Titans only played one division game.
Oh, so the yellow.
They've only played the Colts and got beat early in the year.
That's
so
crazy.
they got to play the Texans twice, the Colts again, and the Jags twice.
Yep. Yeah. I can't believe it took us this long to get to our first divisional game.
Which is wild to think about. The Titans could run through the division right here and
they got
win the division.
6 games left, I believe. 6, 7.
I think so.
6 games left. No, if they went out, dude, they could definitely. Because
I said it a couple weeks ago, they could backdoor into the playoffs.
Well, that was a couple weeks ago when there was still 3 more additional games. But no, even still, they still could because the whole division looks like crap.
Yep, and the Texans got to play the Cowboys tonight, actually. So
I'm just going to alert that a piece of the roof fell, like a big metal chunk fell out.
They're in Dallas too, ain't they?
Yeah. I don't know if Mike Tyson took a bite out of it or what, but
or he hit it. That'd have been the hardest thing he hit that night.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was so bad.
You never know what he did after that. Might have.
He got paid.
Hit a line.
What he did. He got paid. So, yeah, I mean, the division, honestly, is still – I mean, the Colts, so I got this on the list too. Anthony Richardson got a win against the Jets.
Yeah. Dude, the Jets suck.
How?
I don't know.
We were so high on them, especially when they traded for the guy.
Devontae Adams?
Devontae Adams, yeah, that guy. We thought that was going to flip their season around, and their defense hasn't looked as good. Their offense can't figure anything out. They can't score points. What is – going on in New York?
Thank God for the Jets, because otherwise everyone would know the Titans are the worst team in the league. Now there's debate at least.
Yeah, between the Jets, the Cowboys.
The Jets, the Cowboys, the Titans,
the Jags. Got absolutely
embarrassed.
Murdered.
I can't believe as of
Lions.
this point in time on Monday, what is today? November 18th, that Doug Peterson still has a job. It is 5:58 and Doug Peterson still has a job. How? They've been terrible for the last year and a half. Started out extremely strong last year. They were started off 7-3, 8-3, and then fell apart.
And the fact that the Saints coach Dennis Allen got canned after having the start that they had, honestly,
and losing out, and then now they've won 2 in a row.
Yeah,
Taysom Hill put the team on their back.
Taysom Hill's
a freak.
They're
He's what
interesting positional players.
He's what Tebow should have been.
Yeah.
I mean, dude could run it, he can catch it, he can throw it.
Yeah.
He'll play special teams, he'll play linebacker, safety.
He's what Tebow should have been, in my opinion.
It's amazing that he's played this long.
Yeah.
Doing what he's doing one team.
He's 34 now. I was looking him up last night. Yeah, he's 34.
34.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Man.
I remember when he got that $60 million contract a couple years ago, and everybody was like, what the crap? Why? He didn't even play.
He plays whatever you need him to.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I think at one point in time, even attempted a field goal kick or did a kickoff or something.
Might as well.
He might be the first player to ever play every position. They call him the human Swiss Army knife.
Why not?
Yeah.
You're in a pinch in a position, just throw Hill in there. He'll get her done. But yeah, the division's wide open for the Titans. Scary to say because they've been so bad this year. And
there's going to be nothing worse if they went out and then somehow get your hopes up to make the playoffs, and then they just fall apart. And the wild card, yeah.
I'm going to be insufferable if they make the playoffs. I'm going to be the loudest, most obnoxious. They're going to be what? So let's say they win out. They'll be 8-10.
Yeah.
8-10, making the playoffs, winning the AFC South.
What could you imagine a team with a losing record just winning the whole thing? Like,
I'm about to say, because there's been losing teams that make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like losing record teams make the playoffs just because their division's been so bad. And this is one of those perfect opportunities for the Titans to finish out the season
strong
on a win streak.
Yeah.
End up with a mid-round pick in the draft and sneak into the playoffs.
Yeah, maybe we'll beat the Chiefs in the playoffs in the dynasty the same way we did with Tom Brady and the Patriots.
Oh, man.
Maybe we really are NFL's last hope.
Titans, baby.
To tear down that kingdom.
Or we play the Steelers in the first round in Pittsburgh and just wax the floor with those terrible towels.
Let's be serious.
That would be awesome.
Let's be serious here. Okay? We're a serious show.
I'm smiling.
We're a serious show here. We don't make up, speculate, or anything like that, okay?
I'm jumping on the hypothetical train. Okay?
Okay, why don't you jump
What
on
the
these?
college football playoff is.
You jump on these for real notes. All right.
All right, here we go. Okay. All right, so, you got the Texans-Cowboys tonight if they can put that piece back on the roof, apparently. That's hilarious. I got the Broncos destroy the Falcons on here because Bo Nix had a career day.
Dude, went
Only
off.
a rookie, 307 yards and 4 touchdowns, no turnovers.
Yeah.
Wow,
Huge
against
game.
the Falcons, who's been really good this year.
Yeah, I mean, that's the Falcons' second loss in a row. But still, yeah, they've had a great year. Like, that was, to me, a
Just
surprising
got
loss.
bullied
Absolutely. Just,
all game long.
Yeah.
You kept waiting for the Falcons because that game was on at the same time as the Bills and Chiefs. We'll get to that in a second. But that game just, every time you glance over, the Broncos were scoring or they were in the ball. You kept waiting for the Falcons.
You don't hear anybody talking about Sean Payton negatively with how he's doing. I mean, and think they could have beat the Chiefs the other week, last week, except for that stupid blocked field goal. So, I mean, this could have been their 8th win, I believe.
Yeah, and staying on the blocked field goals, the Packers survived with a blocked field goal at the end of the game.
Dude, that was crazy.
2 weeks in a row where a lineman decides to just not block anybody.
Yeah, I'm on the field, Mom. Take my picture.
I think that's the look this up real quick. The Packers have
11.
It's one of the 8. It's either 8 or 18 straight games beating the Bears.
I thought it was 11. I thought I read 11 or something.
Maybe. I don't know. I want to say it's 8 because I either heard 7 or 17 straight games against the Bears. It's got to be. It's got to be in the teens because Aaron Rodgers never lost to the Bears.
Well, there's a difference between at home versus just losing to them.
Maybe. We'll jump to another topic while he finds that. So, yes, the Chiefs finally lose. Thank you, Josh Allen. Thank you.
Dude,
I kept waiting for the Chiefs to just do what the Chiefs do. The officials do what they do.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. For the refs,
waiting for them
do.
to get bailed. Because there was still plenty of time left. Even when the Chiefs, scored to go by possession, there was still a chance.
There's always a chance with them.
But the Bills went down and scored a touchdown and kind of sealed it. Josh Allen had a 35, 40-yard touchdown run to seal it.
Yeah, fourth down.
It was 4th down?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, but Packers have won 11 consecutive games over the Bears, and 6 of them being in Chicago.
Who was right?
Probably. That was good. I don't know where I'm getting these numbers from.
I don't either, dude.
This is bad. Bad for the program. Oh, God. See, and I opened the door up just to get picked on and bullied, so it's okay.
He should be thankful because he knows what I'm fully capable of, and I'm very restrained while in front of a camera. So,
what are you, Thanos? Did he just threaten me right here?
So it sounded like.
Jeez.
We got it recorded, too.
no, if I was Thanos, I'd make sure you were alive.
Just so you can keep picking on me?
I don't ever pick on you, ever.
Sure.
You've started this whole dialogue with it tonight.
Started since we walked in the freaking door.
Now you did it to yourself. I didn't have anything to do with it.
I mean, Justin started picking on me. I'm an easy target, okay? Sue me. Can't whoop me though. Here we go. So we're gonna change topics real quick. We're gonna jump into a little NBA talk. Okay.
Can't whoop me.
All right. the Lakers are going to repeat as in-season NBA Cup champs.
Yeah, I think that's more important. That holds more weight than the NBCA championship.
It does. It does.
If you're a LeBron
no
fan.
controversial thing there.
Yeah, if you're a LeBron fan, at least.
Yeah. The Lakers are looking really good. They've squandered away a couple of losses.
Dalton Connect 4.
Finally,
he looks. He's
earning that first round pick. Yeah.
Stud.
Yeah. Looking back at some of the stats, I have him on one of my fantasy basketball teams because I'm a psycho and do that stuff.
How many have you made?
Like early, I've got 3.
Oh, that's impressive.
Only because I started making them the day the season started.
So it's like 17.
Early in the year, like they're trying to work him in. He's gotten a lot of minutes, but you can just tell like his confidence hasn't been there. Of course, it's a different animal playing in the league, but
I'll tell you what, LeBron is
last couple of games he's come on.
He has. So have you noticed LeBron is like an elite white boy recruiter?
Yeah.
Think of all the white dudes he's had to play with him that have just like been really good.
Yeah, Birdman Anderson.
Yeah.
Mike Miller.
Mike Miller. Yeah.
Kevin Love. Austin Reeves.
Yeah. Caruso.
Yeah. LeBron loved him.
Yeah.
I loved him.
Yeah. And until he met Austin Reeves and he's like, no, I love this white boy.
Imagine if he had Caruso and Austin Reeves.
Nah, there's too much white around for that.
Well, he got Dalton Connect.
Yeah. Well, Austin Reeves is like light skinned now, I think.
Yeah, he's invited to the cookout, I think.
Yeah.
He's the, can we say he's the best true white player in the NBA?
Like American white?
American white, that's what I'm saying, yeah. Because you obviously got Joker and Luka.
No.
But they're from over there.
Freaking Chet, bro.
Is he from here?
Chet Holmgren? Yeah.
Is he a
he was with Thunder.
homegrown?
Yeah.
I know he's on the Thunder, but I'm saying like.
Yes, he is. He's
I know he played in like the 17U, 18U, like USA.
He's an American.
Teams.
Red-blooded American.
Well, Austin Reeves is from Arkansas.
Okay.
Can't get much whiter than
You're right.
a white dude from Arkansas. Where's he from, Peyton? Where's Chet from?
Says he went to
where he
Minnehaha Academy in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Where was
or at least
he?
that's where he was born.
He was born in Minnesota.
Born in Minnesota. And then
So he's a
wherever-
northern white, not a southern white.
Yeah.
Northern whites are built different. Southern whites don't play basketball.
You're right.
Unless your name's Austin Reeves. Or
So-
Colton Albright. I still got it. That came out weird. Don't zoom in on me when I do that. See, I set myself up.
I want to keep this highly racist 10 minutes back and forth.
But we're talking about white people. So
While not,
diminishing other people
Yeah.
of color. And we're not. We're just talking
we're not.
basketball.
It's good for us.
Yeah.
It's good to see.
Yeah, we feel good. Like, we're proud of them. But they're doing something.
Also, Reeves is who I wanted to be when I was in middle school.
There we go.
Yeah.
You wanted to be white chocolate. And
I tried.
Yeah. What was his name? Jason Williams?
Jason Williams.
Yeah.
Is that the one with the elbow passes and all that?
Yeah. they
Yeah,
were.
yeah.
He's still doing it, too.
Yeah, his handles were unreal.
You ever seen that? Oh, he's from Canada. And he does all the crazy dunks.
Probably not.
Jordan Kilgannon.
With the hair?
Yeah, he gets like silver and blue.
He's because I think he came on whenever he was doing that thing with Gary Payton or whatever. He was doing this dunk, and Gary Payton was like, "Get off of my screen!" And he was doing all this stuff, and he got respect. Yeah,
Yeah.
He
Oh,
he would
yeah.
win every dunk contest. Ever.
Yes, I
they need to
remember.
have a pro-am like dunk contest.
Yeah, I remember that. They should like a world
Why
a world
Mac
tour.
McClung can dunk too.
Bingo.
Yeah, who's he with now? Was he with the Lakers
I think
for
the Magic.
He
or
was.
something.
Was he
he's
yeah, like
the
a couple-
Sixers.
a couple years ago? He was
affiliation.
like in the G League for the Lakers, right?
No, he was.
Yeah,
but he won the.
he won the dunk contest a couple years ago.
Yeah, but I think he's with the Sixers affiliation now. So speaking of G League players, Bronny got sent down, which I think is huge for him.
Yeah, but they've been doing that for a few weeks, so he only plays the home games with the G League. He won't play their away games because they fly commercial, and they don't want him on a passenger plane. With all that being said, he's been tearing it up, dude.
Good.
He's been-
he needs that confidence, man. Because G League's not. I mean, it's not a pushover league.
No,
I mean,
it's
you
not.
still got to be a dog to be in the G League too.
No, he's been tearing it up.
Good.
He's been playing really good basketball.
Thank you.
It surprised me. I'm very happy for him. Very excited.
Because you don't know what he is. Because
No.
he didn't shine in college.
Well, he didn't have the opportunity to. He played like 10 games.
Yeah, I know he had that cardiac arrest and he came back and played. But, like, numbers-wise, you don't know what Bronny's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Go get it. I mean, he's still young, and you're going to play in the NBA a long time. I mean, I don't want to say – I mean, you got in the NBA because you're dad. But go prove to people that you
deserve to be there. Yeah,
do
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Once you
what
got you got your foot in the league, now just keep it in there.
Yeah. That's – who cares how you got there at this point? Show them why you deserve to be there.
What's crazy, though, is people play – like, there's some guys that play for – like, they make careers in the G League. Like, they play a super long time. What you got to know, Bronny's just, you know – knock on wood, an unfortunate injury to somebody on the Lakers team, injury away from being that next guy up. But go get your rep, go get your confidence up.
Hopefully that's D'Lo.
He's
trash.
He might be traded, huh? He might get traded.
I don't know what he's traded value.
What's crazy,
anymore.
though, is the Lakers have had this team for a couple of years now.
No, they have.
Like, since the trade deadline 2 years ago?
Yeah.
They've had this team, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's great for consistency.
I think it's the longest team LeBron has been.
You know, it very well could be. Okay, so let's talk. Dude, AD has been freaking lighting the league. He's leading the league.
Stay healthy.
I know he's got 31. He's averaging like 31.3
Yeah.
points
He leads
per game.
the league in whatever it is.
Okay, yeah, so he is leading the league in scoring.
Yeah.
Unreal. Like, so happy to see it.
Just stay healthy, man.
Like,
Please stay healthy. Please.
in my opinion, Bron has played with a lot of stars, highly rated stars, but no superstars. Outside of, and don't get me wrong, Dwayne Wade is a superstar, but when he was playing with Dwayne Wade, was not at his superstar level. Kyrie was young and a budding superstar, but probably hadn't quite reached that superstar level status yet.
He was still young when he played,
Anthony Davis is probably the first
Hands
player.
down the best player.
The best player, yeah.
He's had. No
He's
doubt.
everything. I think Anthony Davis is everything that he thought Chris Bosh was going to be.
And AD, I think, needed LeBron more than LeBron needs AD. Is that fair to say?
Probably. But I think that Bron does need AD as much as AD needed him at this
It's
point.
a mutual need.
Yeah. At this point, at this point in Bron's career.
Well, yeah, at this point in his career, because
I mean, he
is a hell of a person.
He's a
lean
month
on.
away from being 40. So
Yeah, and AD can take over a game.
yeah. But
And
yeah,
if he gets his outside shot going,
he's
just
the
adds
player that
another-
Bron's been looking for his entire career, like no doubt.
Yeah.
So it's good to see. Like,
And LeBron's always been so much better when he's had shooters. LeBron's had shooters on every team he's played with. But if you put guys around him, all around him that can shoot, like Austin Reeves, connect, AD when he can step out and shoot. If D'Lo can get his head out of his rear end and start doing what he did a couple years ago, even last year, like he looked.
yeah, he's a
good at
great.
some
He
point
is a
last year.
fantastic in season player, but when it comes to playoffs,
He disappeared last year.
on a milk carton.
He
2 years in a row, bro.
last year,
2
yeah.
years in a row, he's vanished.
But yeah, I really like this Lakers team, and they've started out so good. They just need to keep it going.
Yeah, keep it rolling.
I don't have it on the list, but a team that is not the Sixers are
full.
only 2 wins, 2
Awful.
wins, not wings, 2 wins,
Bucks also. I don't know how many wins.
4.
Four. That's
They're
4 now.
4-9.
They're terrible too. Neither one of those makes
Which
sense.
NBA is always a coin flip depending on how teams are, but you see all the offseason, how teams are structured going into a year. The Knicks aren't really doing that good, but the Cavaliers are 15
and 0, dude. Love it. Love it for the city of Cleveland. Love it for that team. They are a great team. Donovan Mitchell, Spider.
They've got 2 takeover
fantastic.
guards. They've got 2 takeover big men.
Yeah.
Evan
They are
Mobley,
a full
Jared Allen.
team in front court, back court, everything.
To go undefeated in the NBA up to this point is absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Cavs being undefeated at this point of the year is incredible. They could go, again, being in the NBA, you can go on a 15-game lose streak just as quick as you can go on a win streak.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's going to be it. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Again, we'll have another episode Friday. Also be going live again Friday to discuss the
Results of tomorrow's
results of Tuesday's college football playoff rankings and leading up to major football games coming up this weekend who will once again impact next week's rankings. But we thank you again for tuning in.
Yes, thank you all so much. For all of you who are hopefully watching on Facebook Live right now, thank you so much for tuning in. Sorry if you were posting any comments. When you get to it, we'll get to it once we're done. Normal guy we had here wasn't able to make it tonight, but we'll do better with that going forward. Please, tell your friends about us. Share our content. We're trying to improve each week. We have no aspiration, or we have no expectations of becoming some channel or anything that's 500,000, 1 million followers, as nice as that would be. But still we want to see growth. We definitely want to hear feedback as well about improving. So if there's anything that we're missing or not quite doing well enough, let us know. It's not going to hurt our feelings, hopefully.
And if you know anybody who has experience in content creating, marketing, anything like that, please let us know on the side. We're taking applications, I guess you could say. But
we're paying in friendship.
We're having a whole lot of fun doing this, and we're not really flying by the seat of our pants because obviously we don't have any experience doing this, but we do feel like we're getting better week in and week out. And with the help of you guys, we could do a whole lot better.
Yep.
So thank you guys.
Y'all.
Roll Tide.
Thank you, Roll Tide.